Hey, I'm Dr. Chris Williams again, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the new recommendation by the CDC to wear face protection. So the CDC has made the recommendation that even seemingly healthy people go ahead and start wearing a mask to cover their face. Now, this mask is not the famous N95 mask that becomes so popular now. That mask actually would prevent the spread of the virus. But the problem is we would rather have that mask in the hands of healthcare professionals who are out on the front lines and fighting the disease firsthand, as opposed to somewhere in your cabinet and able to grab it here and there and use it improperly, because even that mask has to be properly fitted and sealed for it to be effective. So what the CDC has recommended is even the consideration of you making a homemade mask using your cloth and your material at home. And that's fine. They've got some guidelines on their website that even inform you of how to do that. So in the healthcare field, it's generally known as a disposable item. So that means that we basically would put on this mask, use it for a specific patient or situation, and then when it's done, we would take that and we would discard it. So that's what makes it disposable. However, when you make your cloth mask at home, you might not feel it's so disposable because, for one, your cost might have been, I don't know, anywhere from upwards to $8 to $15, something like that, depending on if it's also a fashion statement for you. But so for that reason, I'm going to say, if you're going to use one, then you probably should go ahead and get at least a few. And then that way, when you use the mask and you use it in an environment where you feel like you are protecting yourself from being contaminated, you need to take the mask then and immediately go ahead and wash it. Because if you set it somewhere and it sits, let's pretend that it's contaminated, now anything or anyone that comes in contact with it or around is also contaminated, and therefore you've kind of defeated the purpose. So you take that mask and you get it clean, and then either you're not going to go back to another exposure, or either you're going to get you another mask when you go back to the next event where it's a possible exposure. So here's the thing, is that what experts and trials so far, studies, are showing that the effectiveness, but this is not to be considered as an alternative to social distancing. We know that works. So stick together with your social distancing, stick to that, and also your good hand hygiene. Keep your hands away from your face, lots of hand washing. As an add-on, you can use these masks. And keep in mind, if you're going to use the mask as a protectant, after you use it, you have to consider and treat it as if it was exposed or contaminated. So the repetition of using the same possibly dirty, contaminated mask off and on, probably reduces the effectiveness of it as well. So if you're going to use the cloth mask, you're probably going to need to keep a few on hand, and you're going to need to go ahead and keep those clean. You're going to need to wash those. Washing them in the washing machine is just fine. And then while you're washing one, go ahead and go to the next one. And this is just when you're going to be out and possibly exposed to things that are unknown. And basically, I've defaulted to everyone is contaminated. Basically you have to treat everyone as if they are contaminated. And so that way it reminds you to stay distant and to not cross-contaminate with your hands touching something out in nature, out anywhere, and then to the face. Okay. So we're all in this together, trying to prevent the spread and to get this thing under control. So hey, if you have some questions, some comments, also if you give us a like and a subscribe, share with some friends. You have a question or comment, then you go ahead and put it down, and I'll jump in the comments and we can chat about it there. Hey, thanks for checking us out again.